Panama has two seasons, the good season and the rainy season. Guess which one this is? It's all starting to make sense now. Maybe that's why the flights were so cheap, and the hotels are so cheap, and the rental cars smelled like a flooded pet store. Maybe that's why Dan Neal calls us the merry band of arsonists, because we research a trip with the same due diligence as the Obama administration does when hiring web developers. In reality though, we did plan for the rainy season. Kind of. We specifically looked for an off-road car and sports cars with all-wheel drive. We were supposed to film an R34 Skyline, but as you remember from our first film down here, we ended up with a school bus. So today, with all-wheel drive on the brain, it's time for a little speed, and that means spending some time with Race Lab's 900 horsepower Mitsubishi Evo 7. Race Lab is in the newer, nicer part of Panama City, Costa del Este, and their shop and clientele certainly reflects that. You could eat off the floor of this place, and if you didn't know any better, you could be in any high-end shop in any place in the world.
Okay, right now the shop, we have RX-7, which we did a 2JC swap in it, the Audi twin-turbo Hefner kit, GTR R33, which we're upgrading turbos, and we have some 900 horsepower Evo builds. The shop car is an Evolution 7. It's a basic 2-liter, which we upgraded to a full build 2-liter engine, full head, big turbo, and we've worked our way up to drivetrain, suspension, computer. Right now it's doing 50 PSI.
There we go, 4,000, 5,000. Okay, okay. Yeah, all right, so that works. Let's do that again. That was crazy. You gotta wait. It's like, it's hard to. Jesus. When the power comes on, you better hope that road is straight. At this point in my spiel, it's where I tell you that I once got schooled by a bunch of YouTube commenters because I was referring to the point at which turbo comes on as lag, and that's not true. That's the boost threshold when the turbo starts to kick in. Lag is once you're in boost, if you're getting on and off the gas, what's the throttle response like? So the lag is not much, so I'll get this thing into boost really quick and we'll see. Waiting. Whoa, doctor! Okay. The lag is non-existent. The boost threshold is very high. Power part of it works really good. That's as fast a car as I've pretty much ever felt. And I was shifting at 7,000 RPM. Now that was out of sheer terror, because the red line is 9,500 RPM in this car, which if you know what an Evo gauge looks like, it ends at 9. And then it says tarmac, gravel, and snow below that for your controls. And yeah, Gary was like, sometimes I shift at gravel, but sometimes I shift at snow.
Watching the tack climb is like being in a barrel at the top of Niagara Falls. You know something's about to go down hard. It's just a matter of when.
In Panama, we import vehicles from Japan directly, so you'll see a lot of right-hand drive cars here in Panama. Like, there's a lot of people buying muscle cars and German cars a lot too. There's a little story behind it. They call it the myth because I never took it to the racetrack before. So on the street it was like, yeah, it's a myth. So I've I kept the name and I still call it the Myth. Our first time at the track, it went 10 seconds on our first try with a stock computer. I'm confident I can run 9s. Run 9s, and I take my kid to school in it.
50 pounds of boost, which as far as I can recall is the most boost of any car I've ever driven. So that's nice. Also, I believe this is the most horsepower of any 4-cylinder car I've ever driven. It is still a 2-liter, although it's fully forged. It's actually high compression, which is interesting because normally you think lots of boost, low compression, but he wants it to be drivable around town, because driving around town is really all that's available here in Panama. God, it sounds like a race car. It's got a parachute on the back, which certainly makes a statement. He said he's never actually pulled it, which is sad.
The parachute is more of getting ready for the racetrack standards, because there are some strict rules for it. We decided to fabricate it with one of my friends called Collins from Toxifab. Did a custom one for us, so it's not an off-the-shelf part. Like we drew it and had it professionally done for us.
Whoa! Oh, this tarmac sucks! Yeah, all the issues with the car, any negatives I have about the car, all have to do with the strength of clutch needed to get the power down. And it's not a heavy pedal, it's a light pedal. It's a bit grabby and it's a bit tricky, and if you don't know what you're doing, like me, it stalls sometimes. That's it. Besides that, you get to boost! This thing rips! There's not enough room. This country is too small for this car. There are no racetracks, there's no open runways, the roads are all like this, there's cars everywhere. You need a car like this in a bigger country with more room.
The biggest problem with car culture in Panama City isn't that people can afford nice cars. They can. And it isn't that people don't know how to make cars go faster. Hell, even the school buses are fast here. It's that the roads just suck. Gary's Evo surprised us mainly because it actually works. At the beginning of the shoot, I would have bet that there is no way 900 horsepower out of a 2-liter engine is going to stay in one piece through the whole shoot. But it appears that indeed it will. And it's just a good, clean build. Nothing too wild to look at, provided of course you ignore the parachute, but tasteful upgrades on the outside to match the completely ridiculous upgrades on the inside. When we started with Drive, we wanted to work towards a singular goal, to take viewers to places they haven't been, to share our experiences and our love for cars and the locations that people might have not otherwise known about. We wanted to see what car culture was like in a country that most people don't think of when talking about cars. And it definitely does exist down here, just in a much more condensed form. But like all things concentrated, it is very, very powerful when experienced properly. Not that we actually recommend coming to Panama on a whim to make 3 films during the rainy season, we just got lucky. More importantly, we got Yoel. What's up next? Well, if you want to see us go to other new and unexpected places, let us know. You want to be our next fixer? You want to show us what's up in your part of the world? Let us know what kind of cars your people roll in, what kind of culture, scenery, roads, or tracks your crew is about. Send us an email to tuned@thesmokingtire.com, and maybe next time we'll come to you. And if the coffee is half as good as Panama's, that would be nice too.